last year's winner of the state finals of the Wisconsin Poetry Out Loud contest. Her name is Kristen Meyer. She is now a student at the Milwaukee Institute of Art and Design. And is this what you read last year? So those of you who didn't have a chance to be here last year, you can feel as though you were for just a couple of minutes. Kristen Meyer.
Hi. First, I wanted to say congratulations to everyone who's performing. You're all so talented, so I'm really excited to see who goes on. Nationals is amazing, so it's a really great opportunity. This is Kubla Khan by Samuel Taylor Coleridge. I performed it last year at Nationals and here. Or A Vision in a Dream, a fragment. In Xanadu did Kubla Khan a stately pleasure dome decree, where Alph, the sacred river, ran through caverns measureless to man down to a sunless sea. So twice 5 miles of fertile ground, with walls and towers were girdled around, and there were gardens bright with sinuous rills, where blossomed many an incense-bearing tree. And here were forests, ancient as the hills, enfolding sunny spots of greenery. But oh, that deep romantic chasm which slanted down the green hill athwart a cedarn cover, a savage place, as holy and enchanted as air beneath a waning moon was haunted by woman wailing for her demon lover. And from this chasm, with ceaseless turmoil seething, as if this earth in fast, thick pants were breathing, a mighty fountain momently was forced, amid whose swift, half-intermitted bursts, huge fragments vaulted like rebounding hail, or chaffy grain beneath the thresher's flail. And mid these dancing rocks at once and ever, it flung up momently the sacred river. 5 miles, meandering, through wood and dale the sacred river ran, then reached the caverns measureless to man, and sank in tumult to a lifeless ocean. And mid this tumult, Kubla heard from far ancestral voices prophesying war. The shadow of the dome of pleasure floated midway on the waves, where was heard the mingled measure from the fountain and the caves. It was a miracle of rare device, a sunny pleasure dome with caves of ice. A damsel with a dulcimer in a vision once I saw. It was an Abyssinian maid, and on her dulcimer she played, singing of Mount Abora. Could I revive within me her symphony and song, to such a deep delight 'twould win me, that with music loud and long I would build that dome in air, that sunny dome, those caves of ice. And all who heard should see them there, and all should cry, beware, beware, his flashing eyes, his floating hair. Weave a circle round him thrice, and close your eyes with holy dread, for he on honey dew hath fed and drunk the milk of paradise. Thank you.
Saliqua Winston will start the second round as well. She is here from the Milwaukee High School of the Arts. They have sent many over the years to this contest. She, as noted before, is interested in theater. I think it's fascinating that she also writes poetry and is a songwriter. I guess that all fits together, doesn't it?
There Are Birds Here by Jamal May for Detroit. There are birds here. So many birds here is what I was trying to say when they said those birds were metaphors for what is trapped between buildings and buildings. No, the birds are here to root around for bread. The girls' hands tear and toss like confetti. No, I don't mean the bread is torn like cotton. I said confetti. And no, not the confetti a tank can make up a building. I mean the confetti a boy can't stop smiling about. And no, his smile isn't much like a skeleton at all. And no, his neighborhood is not like a war zone. I am trying to say his neighborhood is as tattered and feathered as anything else. As shadow pierced by sun and light parted by shadow dance as anything else. But they won't stop saying how lovely the ruins, how ruined the lovely children must be in that birdless city.
From Superior High School, junior Zachary Palmer is with us for the second round. Activities include theater, improv, drama club, Dungeons and Dragons club, and volunteer work. Now, Dungeons and Dragons is drama club, so I don't know why you'd list them separately. Welcome.
The Children's Hour by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. Between the dark and the daylight, when the night is beginning to lower, comes a pause in the day's occupations that is known as the Children's Hour. I hear in the chamber above me the patter of little feet, the sound of a door that is opened, and voices soft and sweet. From my study I see in the lamplight, descending the broad hall stair, grave Alice, and laughing Allegra, and Edith with golden hair. A whisper, and then a silence. Yet I know by their merry eyes they are plotting and planning together to take me by surprise. A sudden rush from the stairway, a sudden raid from the hall. By 3 doors left unguarded they enter my castle wall. They climb up into my turret over the arms and back of my chair. If I try to escape, they surround me. They seem to be everywhere. They almost devour me with kisses. Their arms about me entwine, till I think of the Bishop of Bingen in his mouse tower on the Rhine. Do you think, O blue-eyed banditti, because you have scaled the wall, such an old mustache as I am is not a match for you all? I have you fast in my fortress, and will not let you depart, but put you down into the dungeon, in the round tower of my heart. And there will I keep you forever, yes, forever and a day, till the walls shall crumble to ruin and molder in dust away.
Ellie Norman is next, here from University High School of Milwaukee. It's always nice to see reading, writing, and even baking as an activity. It's heartening to discover that in addition, she's interested in basketball and lacrosse, field hockey, and playing the trumpet, and I suspect in poetry too.
The Arrow and the Song by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. I shot an arrow into the air. It fell to earth, I knew not where, for so swiftly it flew, the sight could not follow it in its flight. I breathed a song into the air. It fell to earth, I knew not where, for who has sight so keen and strong that it can follow the flight of song? Long, long afterward, in an oak, I found the arrow still unbroke, and the song from beginning to end I found again in the heart of a friend.
Next, from Elkhart Glenbeulah High School in Glenbeulah is senior Mandy McLaughlin. Earlier we talked about her interest in biology, but she's just like all the others in that she has 17,000 interesting activities. I may have overstated it by 1,000. Volleyball, basketball, softball, band, choir, student council, English academic team. And her softball team became the regional champions. Pretty good. Welcome.
Old Mama Saturday by Marie Ponceau. Saturday's child must work for a living. I'm moving from Grief Street. Taxes are high here, though. The mortgage cheap. The house is well built, with stuff to protect. That mattered to me. The security. These things that I mind, you know, aren't mine. I mind minding them. They weigh on my mind. I don't mind them well. I haven't got the knack of kindly minding. I say, take them back. But you never do. When I throw them out, it may frighten you. And maybe me too. Maybe it will empty me too emptily and keep me here asleep at sea under the gilt quilt, under the yew tree.
Megan Nike is next. She's a sophomore. She was a sophomore a couple of years ago. She's a senior at Wrightstown High School. Professionalism in action here. Good fix, he says. She talked about psychology as a way to study people. Her proudest moment, though, she said, is getting a gold medal for state forensics, both sophomore and junior year. That's where I got the sophomore. So now you're a senior and up here.
Respiration by Jamal May. A lot of it lives in the trachea, you know, but not so much that you won't need more muscle. The diaphragm, a fist, clenching at the bottom. Inhale. So many of us are breathless, you know. Like me, kneeling to collect the pottery shards of a houseplant my elbow has nudged into oblivion. What if I sigh and the black earth beneath me scatters like insects running from my breath? Am I a god then? Am I insane because I worry about the disassembling of earth regularly? I walk more softly now into gardens or
up the steps of old houses, with impatience stuffed in their window boxes. When it's you, standing there with a letter or voice or face full of solemn news, will you hold your breath before you knock?
We always ask each of our contestants to say what their favorite subject is. Ashley Gray wouldn't say what her favorite subject is. I think it's because she likes everything. Soccer, painting, writing, drawing, playing piano, receiving ones in solo and ensemble, and poetry.
I Carry Your Heart With Me, I Carry It In by E.E. Cummings. I carry your heart with me. I carry it in my heart. I am never without it, for anywhere I go, you go, my dear. And whatever is done by only me is your doing, my darling. I fear no fate, for you are my fate, my sweet. I want no world, for beautiful you are my world, my true. And it's you are whatever a moon has always meant, and whatever a sun will always sing is you. Here is the deepest secret nobody knows. Here is the root of the root, and the bud of the bud, and the sky of a tree called life, which grows higher than soul can hope or mind can hide. And this is the wonder that's keeping the stars apart. I carry your heart. I carry it in my heart.
Now, we get to know a little bit about our contestants ahead of time, but the way we really get to know them is by listening to them. Janessa Gould, for instance, is a senior at Altoona High School. We know she likes art. Turns out she likes student council and forensics, but also pottery. Is that a new discovery? No, she says. And I'll bet poetry isn't new to you either.
Mrs. Caldera's House of Things by Gregory DeJankian. You are sitting in Mrs. Caldera's kitchen. You are sipping a glass of lemonade and trying not to be too curious about the box of plastic hummingbirds behind you. The tray of tineless forks at your elbow. You have heard about the back room where no one else has ever gone, and whatever enters remains. Refrigerator doors, fused coils, mower blades, milk bottles, pistons, gears. You never know, she says, rummaging through a cedar chest of recipes, when something will come of use. There's a vase of pencil tips on the table, a bowl full of miniature wheels and axles. Upstairs, where her children slept, the doors will not close. The stacks of magazines are burgeoning. There are snowshoes and lampshades, bed springs and picture tubes, and boxes of irreducibles. You imagine the headline in the Literalist Express. House, founders under weight of past. But Mrs. Caldera is baking cookies. She is humming a song from childhood. Her arms are heavy and strong. They have held babies, a husband, tractor parts and gas tanks. What have they not found a place for? It is getting dark. You have sat for a long time. If you move, you feel something will be disturbed. there is room enough only for your body. Stay a while, Mrs. Caldera says, and never have you felt so valuable.
Abby Fuchs is next from Brookfield Central High School, where she is a sophomore. As with many of the others, interested in many things, video games and acting. Playing video games or making them? Playing, she says. Well, that makes sense. And placing fourth in a dance composition. And if your favorite poet is Shakespeare, then play on.
I Remember, by Thomas Hood. I remember the house where I was born, the little window where the sun came peeping in at morn. He never came a wink too soon, nor brought too long a day. But now I often wish the night had borne my breath away. I remember the roses, red and white, the violets and the lily cups, those flowers made of light. The lilacs where the robin built, and where my brother set the laburnum on his birthday. The tree is living yet. I remember where I used to swing, and thought the air must rush as fresh, 2 swallows on the wing. My spirit flew in feathers then, that is so heavy now, and summer pools could hardly cool the fever on my brow. I remember the fir trees, dark and high. I used to think their slender tops were close against the sky. It was a childish ignorance, but now 'tis little joy to know I'm farther off from heaven than when I was a boy.
Adama Ba is at La Follette High School, where she is a sophomore only. But she plays tennis for the high school. She's in school clubs like Youth Court and Project Unify, and enjoys poetry. Welcome.
Learning to Love America by Shirley Gooklin Lim. Because it has no pure product. Because the Pacific Ocean sweeps along the coastline. Because the water of the ocean is cold. And because land is better than ocean. Because I say we rather than they. Because I am from California. I've eaten fresh artichokes and jacaranda bloom in April and May. Because my senses have caught up with my body, my breath with the air it swallows, my hunger with my mouth. Because I've walked barefoot in my house, because I've nursed my son at my breasts, because he is a strong American boy, because I've seen his eyes redden when he's asked who he is, because he answers, I don't know. Because to have a son is to have a country. Because my son will bury me here. Because countries are in our blood and we bleed them. Because it is late and too late to change my mind. Because it is time.